Western Union picked Solana over Ethereum and XRP. Fudders say that this agreement means the end of the XRP ledger and Ripple. What I found when I looked into this was shocking. I'll break this all down for you now. You'll see what I see after we watch this whole movie. You're likely to have a big style and say, you know what? At the end of this, Sensei is correct. I found something better than this meal. Let's get right to it. You won't believe it. Western Union, the biggest money transfer company in the world, is building only on Solana, Western Union says. Very cool. The CEO of Western Union talks about this relationship here. People have been using technology to connect with each other and move money for 175 years. This is the next step forward, moving to digital assets and being able to send money quickly, easily, and cheaply all over the world by using the infrastructure and scale that blockchain technology already gives us. We believe this is the next step forward in both our past and the way money is sent to people around the world. Western Union moves $100 billion across countries every year. If you're looking for a partner that can do the same thing quickly, that's fine. We made the right choice with Solana blockchain. There was a news story here. Western Union says that the USDP stablecoin will be available on the Solana Network digital asset network. After that, I wanted to quickly look into it before we got to the important parts. What kind of relationship did Ripple and XRP have with Western Union in the past? That being said, let's get right to it. Over the past 10 years, Western Union has put Ripple's technology in the XRP system through a lot of tests for cross-border payments. However, it has never taken those tests to the next level and let customers' money actually move through them. All the proof we have shows that their work with Ripple and XRP was limited to control tests and pilots, and they did not use these technologies in a wide range of business situations. You can see that they were trying and piloting back in 2015. 2018, and most recently 2021, along with other blockchain trials. The business used Ripple's XRapid for transactions, which is on-demand liquidity right now, but official comments and news reports keep saying that these were just tests and not a full rollout with real customers. In 2018, the CEO of Western Union said that the cost saves and increased efficiency were not seen as enough to warrant wider adoption. That's fine. They didn't save enough money. They did not want to move forward with XRP and Ripple. There's no way I could say that every company will agree with Ripple that their use case for their technology will work with what they want to do. Everything is fine. This will happen a lot more in the future. This doesn't bother me at all. Of course, I did want to check out Western Union's real business. Has it been going up or down over the past few years? For example, why did you pick this moment to do it? Okay, let's look into some of that information. Solana is now a more direct rival to Western Union. Someone who is a more direct competitor of Western Union. Is it Ripple and XRP or Solana? With its blockchain payment service, Solana is now a more direct competitor of Western Union. This is especially true since Western Union chose to start its own USDP stablecoin only on the Solana network instead of the Ripple and XRP networks. As Western Union moves to Solana, it will start giving its depeg stablecoin to users around the world for $100 million starting in 2026. The company said in public that Solana was picked because it has fast transactions, can be scaled up, can handle large amounts of money transfers, and has very low fees. Of course, why not XRP? That was already talked about. It says that Western Union has handled, the guy said 100 billion. I don't need to stress that again. So let's just use that yearly and cross-border payments that have brought in about $4.2 billion a year over the last 5 years. In general, the business moves forward. In the past few years, the number of processes, amounts, and transactions has mostly stayed the same or gone down slightly. This is what I needed. Before I heard about this relationship and the fights, I thought, I wonder how Western Union's business is really doing. So let's look into that since I have the information you need right here. Look at this. Western Union's yearly income peaked at about $4.7 billion in 2020. Since then, it has gone down, and in 2025, it was only $4.1 billion. In core money transfer groups, the number of transactions has been all over the place or has gone down a little. According to a recent study, the CMT consumer money transfer segment's income was going down, with an annual drop of 6 to 9%. Western Union's retail business has made a little less money overall, but its digital activities and expansion of services have helped to make up for this. They are growing in some places and shrinking in others. Look at how much money was made over the last 5 years. You can see that they reached their highest point in 2021, when they had $5 billion, but you have seen a big drop in 2022, 2023, and 2024, Another thing is that going from $5 billion to almost $4 billion is a drop of about 20% in 5 years. Anyone who is currently running a business will tell you that a 20% drop in sales means you need to let people go and start doing other things. If this trend continues, you may not be able to stay in business for much longer. Western Union will also have to worry about whether Solana will ever go down and crash. Since this has happened a lot in the last few years, I don't think it will be a surprise if it hurts their business as a whole. This is what you're not hearing. What you don't read is that Solana had to write a $25 million check to secure the deal for 6 months. This money was used to help him get cash. Ripple will never do something like this. They're not going to give you $25 million in cash or write you a check for that much. For 6 months, that's $50 million. They would never, ever, ever want to do something like this because it's bad for business, right? Even more so since Western Union's business has been going down every year. Large organizations may want to use a big check to lower the risk of their proof of concept, but they'll be sorry when their chosen blockchain goes down and millions of payments are lost. A lot of people talked about this, and a lot of them paid Western Union $50 million for a 6-month deal when SolStop was working. Yes. This is being talked about by a lot of people. G-Treasury clears $12.5 trillion a year, and Hidden Road clears $3 trillion a year. These are the things that Ripple is really focusing on, not the smaller things that Western Union has. Hugo Fillion, the founder and CEO of Flare, says the deal between Western Union and Solana has nothing to do with the XRP system or Ripple. It's clear that Ripple wants to get into the very profitable business of selling and managing assets. Flare makes any categories that Ripple and the XRP ledger win even better by adding more uses and making XRP very easy to program. The size of the cross-border market as a whole is $187 trillion, so it's easy to see what Western Union is doing. For me, this is nothing, and I've seen a lot of people get crazy over this kind of news. Ripple and XRP won't be able to solve all of your problems. We need a group of different assets that can make a lot of money. Ethereum is going to do well. Solana is going to make it. We want XRP and all of these other assets that we have invested in to do well. That can only happen if everyone is working on different lines and doing different things. Everything can work with everything else. Now, take a deep breath. We need to take a step back and really understand what's going on. King Solomon said that the small start of the Western Union stablecoin shouldn't make anyone doubt their belief in XRP. It won't just be on Solana, it will be on multiple chains as well. If you still think that XRP needs the global bridge asset story to work, that's where my confidence left off. It's so bad that even Solana has to poke fun at XRP. But if they were sure, they wouldn't do that. This is what you see with Swift and the company's chief innovation officer, right? I still think XRP will go up a lot, but I'm sick of telling people that Ripple isn't going to replace the Fed. XRP isn't tied to gold. It's not going to reach $500 by the end of the year. In this case, King Solomon is aiming at Jake Claver. The great thing about accounts is that saying these things is always a win-win situation. Change the date and the story. If something happens, it proves it. If it doesn't, either someone is messing with it or the switch hasn't been turned on yet. I just thought that was helpful. Criticism. Just between you and me, the Western Union's law of news shows that some convictions aren't based on facts. We will remember this smaller part, though, because it showed us something about what came next. There will be a lot of FUD and people who say it's over because they want clicks and views, but my belief in XRP has never been stronger. With all the news that's coming in and all the relationships and collaborations that Ripple is doing, Western Union doesn't seem like a big deal. They're leaving. This is Jay.